What's up, YouTube? Stocks by the numbers. Welcome back. And I wanted to do a quick update here on everyone's favorite stock, Soundhound, ticker symbol SOUN, listed here on the NASDAQ. Now, this company, again, AI software, audio, voice recognition software here. And basically what's going on is we needed to see increases in revenue. And that's what we're seeing here going back several quarters. As you see, a good beat there, a slight miss, but, basically in line. And then, of course, we go last quarter, and you can see a nice beat there, almost 700,000. But basically what we're seeing here as of late is the stock came down, hit a low of 180, continued to break all of these trend lines that I tried to draw out for you guys so that you can have, some sense of just a few of these key levels to keep an eye on. And obviously when it broke the initial support, that's when I made the first update video for you guys telling you that it's going to go down before it goes up. And obviously you see here, 330, 340, stock came down to 180. So almost dropped 50% from breaking that trend line. But of course they, offered more shares. So that obviously added to the drop as well. But as you see here, we hit a low of 180, and this trend line here was at about 170, and we had the fib at 172, right? So that's why I was telling you guys in the comments, I know people were asking, how low could it go? Should I sell here? And I kept mentioning like around that 170 trend line fib level area, and if we broke that, then obviously we were going to get ugly in a hurry. However, the stock had different plans, and as we see here, coming back yesterday, the stock had a massive explosion, up about 30% or whatever it was. And then today, what you're seeing here is basically the maintaining of that value, right? If we look up here, we look at the major indices, you can see we're having a big red day here. A lot of things are pulling back. IBM just went green for some reason, and AMD is climbing up, probably going to go to about 112.50, 112.60. But right now, you can see that this was very important for all of you that are holding Sound. And reason being is because not only did it have this big explosion and not continue to drop down to that 170 trend line, but of course it is maintaining that value. And even if we back up here, you can see that's like a 1 month chart here. I'm dragging it over, and you can see we had our big pull up. We could potentially be kind of bear flagging, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here. The main thing you should be looking at is, as this thing was trending downward and hit these lows of 180, it initially broke this fib and then got right back above it, but the stock still closed below the 20-day moving average, this curvy blue line here. And as you're seeing, we opened up and immediately shot up and stayed above this 20-day moving average that I have laid out here. So in my opinion, we could potentially like fizzle out and maybe sell off a little bit, but I just feel like they're going to bring this moving average up and have the stock retest the moving average, and you may potentially see another bounce taking a leg higher back to this trend line, kind of where it was, back to like 265, 266. So what you're seeing today here, after a big pop in Soundhound, especially on a down day, in my opinion, is a very, very good sign. Because again, if it dips down here to this trend line and sells off a couple of cents, yeah, I understand it's going to suck. However, again, if it has that bounce off the trend line or potentially the bounce off the 20-day moving average as this is rising and this is falling, that bounce, again, that's just going to reaffirm the fact that the stock is going to climb higher. And it may get back to this trend line and just kind of dance around in between these two trend lines here, because chances are the stock is probably not going to do much on anticipation going into next quarter's earnings. Because again, as you see here, the company was reporting, like 6.5, 8, 9 million. Now you can see the quarter coming up here, 12.7 million. So again, I understand it's an AI stock. It's a small cap tech company. So everyone thinks they should just get in and one day it's going to explode. Well, let me tell you something. The way it explodes is because of these numbers. So if the company is still reporting wishy-washy revenue, or now earnings coming in, estimates are 12.7 million, right? So if the company comes in with like 9.7 million, it's going to get freaking destroyed, right? So you need the company to actually do its business. And people will always, try to combat you when you want to talk about fundamentals, oh no, yeah, it doesn't matter. All stocks, trade electronically and everything, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. For trading, I get it. But again, this is more of an investment, I would assume. Probably 80-90% of the viewers watching these videos are investing into this company, not trading. So obviously, if you got in, $1.80, $1.90, now the frickin' thing's up to $2.30. Hey, listen, congratulations. More power to you. Well done. Well played. Hats off to you. On the flip side, again, more people watching are probably holding this for the long term. So as much as we want to ride the AI wave, or just have the NASDAQ maybe potentially just like slowly bring this higher for us, like, listen, that's all well and good, but you have to keep an eye on these numbers. Because if you're investing into an inconsistent company, then you need to have the foresight to understand that there are probably better opportunities out there. There's another company in the space potentially that is doing more consistent revenue, more consistent business than Soundhound. However, again, going back to last quarter, the company came in with a nice little beat here, and even going back here, this is going to be this quarter, correct? Period ending September. So as you see here, a year ago, last September, this was like one of their best quarters. Estimates were up higher than all of the previous quarters here at 8.95 million. The company comes in with over 11 million, right? Almost 25% beat. So that's phenomenal. So if they're able to do something like that again, estimates here up a little bit higher at 12.7 million, all of a sudden the company comes in with like 14.5, 15 million or something like that, then they're going to take the son of a bitch well over $3 probably, just off of the hype, just off of that positive catalyst. Because then what's going to happen is people are going to reevaluate the situation, right? And this could be viewed as overvalued, but it's not immensely overvalued like frickin' Nvidia or something like that. So now you have a company that is kind of just starting out, but now they just went from like seven-figure revenue. Now we're up to like 8-figure revenue, and even moving forward, we're looking for 12, 15, 19 million a quarter now moving forward. So now if the company is going to generate even more revenue, now you're looking at yearly revenues of 70, 80 million potentially for this year, and then you look at next year, could be north of 100 million or whatever. So now they're only trading a couple of times their yearly revenue. And of course, a lot of these newer, smaller cap companies, just with the IP they own, and of course being able to bring in a little bit of revenue, you look at a lot of companies like this, and they're trading probably anywhere from like 850, 900 million to 1.5, 1.7 billion or something like that. So that's why if this company could really start to bring in revenue and consistently beat estimates, then you can easily have this back up to $4 or $5 a share, no problem. That's just my opinion, of course. Obviously, anything can happen. But again, we're seeing EPS rising. We're seeing revenue again still kind of bouncing around. However, that looks like their big quarter, their Q3, and if they can do it again, it's going to look good. But overall, again, I know people want like daily updates, and personally I have a lot going on, so my apologies that I can't just consistently make update videos for the couple of positions that you guys might be holding. But Soundhound here, we had a big pop yesterday, and I was actually hesitant to make the video because I'm sure all you guys got excited seeing that. But more importantly, like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to wait for today to really see that confirmation. And again, what we're seeing here is that the stock exploded yesterday, 30+%. And now, even on a pullback here and a red day across the board, the stock is basically kind of maintaining, as we see here, like this 230 level. So, in my opinion, very, very good sign that the stock rebounded and bounced higher. And again, we switch over to something like a 1 month. You can see now the stock is above the 20-day moving average. Even right now, we have about an hour to go, and you can see that the stock looks like it's like slowly trying to continue to trend upward and stay above that moving average. So, very good sign, in my opinion, for Soundhound. And even switching over here to stock charts, we can see the 50-day moving average 259. That's why I was saying like that 260 level, 265 level is key. Even that 250 level, random ad. But you can see we hit a high at 242, the mid-Bollinger Band 241, right? So it might take another day or two maybe towards the end of the week, but even this 200-day at 246, I think we can get up and reclaim and potentially close above that for the week maybe, and then try to gain some bullish momentum off of that. But the RSIs, both of them on the daily and weekly, sitting like mid 40s. The MACD looks like it's dropping here on the weekly. However, in my opinion, I do feel we may potentially retrace to that 50-day moving average there, 259. But with that big pop yesterday, and then basically kind of maintaining that value today, what you're seeing here is that the MACD has crossed on the daily to the upside after having a big sell-off for maybe like 6 or 7 straight weeks coming down from these peaks. So this, again, could be the beginning of the next leg, the bullish momentum, regaining the value that it had and gave up in the last couple of weeks. And of course, probably, I'd say in my opinion, easily going to get back to the high 2s, potentially 3, going into next earnings, right? Because we see that a lot of companies rally and climb going into earnings on, positive anticipation. So you definitely could see, what are we looking at here? 10%, 23 cents. So that would be 20%, 46 cents. On that would be about 279, 280 a share. Yeah. So in my opinion, yeah, you could potentially see a 20 to 30% rise here, going up to north of 280, 290, maybe even $3 before next earnings. But again, going back to our chart here, and you have to keep an eye on this orange trend line, because, again, coming down and bouncing off it, that's fine. Breaking it is an issue. And, again, we're looking for the same thing here on the upside. If we run up to 265, 268, 270, and get back to this trend line, of course, if it rejects, it is going to continue to drop down inside of this range. But if it breaks, you may potentially have a retracement here to 336. Technically, the stock really shouldn't do that. But, yeah, basically you should keep an eye on this blue trend line here and this orange trend line here. And I'm going to end it there. So once again, this is Stocks by the Numbers. I want to thank you guys for stopping by. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop it down in the comments section. I'm usually very quick to reply. Like the video, thumbs up, algorithm, share the video, helps me get more eyes on the channel. Subscribe to the channel. That is our handshake agreement. I will do Soundhound updates. I'll let you know how I did with, U.S. Steel, Alcoa, all these other companies. If I have an idea in the Discord, shout out to the guys in the Discord. If you want, Discord link is in the description. You can come in, we can BS, we can talk about stocks, we can talk about day trades, whatever you want. I will do all of this for you guys. All I ask, push the subscribe button. That is how you help me help you. But moving forward, more importantly, like I always say, I understand that markets are rocky and they're volatile and they're very uncertain. So I want to wish everyone success. Hope everyone makes a couple of dollars. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good day.